Hi, this is Heather with the Potomac Bead Company. Today I'm going to show you how to make our Chevron V bracelet. The Chevron V bracelet is based on a ladder stitch, and then the embellishments actually make it give it a V look, and it's based on the chevron style. What you'll need for this project, this is a very simple project, but what you'll need is some 8 O's, probably a gram of 8 seed beads for your ladder stitch base. And then you'll also need some 11 O's, less than a gram of 11 O's each. For this bracelet that I stitched, I actually just used 2 different colors of 11 O's. You can use how many colors you want for the embellishment. For the bracelet that we're gonna work on today, I've actually picked 3 different colors for our embellishment. You'll also need a toggle and a clasp, some Fireline, probably a couple yards of that, and a size 10 or 12 English beading needle. And if you would like to use a stop bead, you may. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So once you've attached your stop bead and you've left about a 6-inch length of thread, go ahead and string on 3 seed beads. We're going to start our ladder stitch. So string on 3 seed of your 8 O's, and then go ahead and string on 3 more. Bring them down. So what you want to see happening is you want your second set of your 8 O's to lay next to your first set. And what you're going to do is take your needle back up from the bottom to the tip, up the first three seed beads that you just put on your project, and then you're going to pull. Then you're going to take your needle down the last set of 8 O's. And you've just created your first 2 ladder stitch. To continue your project, you're going to string on 3 more of your base color, your 8 O's. And to bring your project around, to have your 8 O's lay up against the second column, you're going to take your needle down the previous set of 8 O's. Pull tight so that they lay up next to each other nicely, and then you're going to take your needle back up through those 3 seed beads you just put on your project, and then pull. I'm going to do it one more time. String on 3 8 O's, bring them down to your project. And this time, we're going to take our needle up the previous 3 8 O's on our project, and we're going to pull. And then we're going to take our needle back down the 8 O's that we just added to kind of stabilize them. And that's how you do your ladder stitch for this project. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep going. Until you reach your desired length of your bracelet. For the bracelet that I used here, I have about 44 rows of ladder stitch. And this is for a 7-inch bracelet. If you want a 7.5 inch, I would suggest going a little bit longer. And then leave about 1 inch for your toggle and clasp, but kind of figure out what your length is going to be once you've gotten your ladder stitch, and add some more 8 O's if you need to. So go ahead and finish up the rest of your ladder stitch. So now that you've completed the length of your ladder stitch bracelet, we're going to go ahead and attach the clasp for on the one end of your bracelet. This is very simple. So exiting out using the same thread and needle, exiting out, doesn't matter either the top or the bottom, exiting out of the top, you're going to add 2 of your 11 O seed beads. It doesn't matter which color, so pick out whichever color you want. 2 11 O's, 1 of your 8 O seed beads, 3 of your 11 O's, your toggle bar, 3 11 O seed beads, And then you're going to take your needle back down through the 8/0 seed bead that you had just strung on and pull. So it's almost complete. Then you're going to add 2 more seed beads of your 11/0s. Then take your needle back up on the opposite end of your ladder stitch and then pull. And there you've just completed adding a toggle clasp to your project. At this point, you are going to begin your embellishments. You are going to pick up 5 of one color seed beads. Drop the 5 11/0s to your bracelet and skip 2 rows down from where your thread's coming out. Take your needle through the middle 8/0 seed bead and then pull. Should create a V. And then you're going to pick up 5 take your needle, you're exiting out of the 8/0, then take your needle back up through the last row because you want to mimic what you just had on the other side. So take your needle back up through that last row and then pull. So now we've created our first V channel. Then we're going to take our needle back down the second row of your 8/0 and you're going to pick up 5 of your next seed bead color and then take your needle up through the one row below where your transition bead is here for your first set of 5s. So go 1 row down and take your needle up through the middle 8/0 seed bead, just like that, and then pull. And you're going to repeat and then take your needle down through the second row of your ladder stitch, making sure it's going through only your 8/0s. Might be a little tricky. And then pull. And then you're going to take I'm going to flip this over so that you could see it just a little bit better. Now that your thread and needle are coming down through the second column of your ladder stitch, you want to take your needle down through the next row of 8/0s. You should be exiting on top, at the top of your bracelet here. And at this point, you'll go ahead and add 5 seed beads, 5 of your 11/0s. And here's the transition area of the previous V that you've created. So the column next to that, in the middle 8/0 seed bead, you're going to take your needle through that middle 8/0 and then pull. And then you're going to add 5 more 11/0s. And then take your needle, if you need to turn your bracelet over, you can. You're going to take your needle down. See how these beads are already exiting. So you need to take your needle down through that third row and pull. And then you can see your creation developing. And now that now we need to take our needle down through the next, if you can see, I'll just flip it over one more time. So we're going to take our needle down the 4th column of our ladder stitch so that we can add, so that we're able to add our embellishments. And at this point we'll be exiting from the bottom portion. So I'm going to pick up 5 of my 11-ohs. Actually, I want this color. And I see my 8-oh here, and I'm going to take it to the next 8-oh seed bead in the middle. Take my needle up through that 8-oh, and I'm going to pull. Creates the V. I'm in position to do my second set of 5 11-ohs, and I'm going to make sure I'm taking my needle down, if you can see, down that column that doesn't have any seed beads. It's matching up to the row I had just taken my needle out, and you're going to pull. Then you're going to take your needle back over, one column over to the left, and pull so that you can add another set of embellishments. Pick up 5 11-ohs, take your needle down through the middle seed bead, middle 8-oh. It's next in line, and pull. Add 5 more seed beads, and take your needle up through that same column. That you just came out of, and pull. And then you're going to take your needle down the next column, just like so, and pull so that you're in place to do your next set. And you're going to keep doing this until you get to the end of your bracelet. Once you've finished adding your 11-oh embellishments to your ladder stitch, we are actually finished with our bracelet, and all we need to do is add our clasp. And to do so, you're going to remove your stop bead, or just move it out of the way. And if you notice, your thread is going to be coming out of the 3rd column from the end on the inside, and what you need to do is get your thread coming out of the last column. And to do that, you're just going to go back up through your ladder stitch. Take your needle down through the 2nd to last row, if I can. And then take your needle back up through the very last row of your ladder stitch. And now we're just in position to add our clasp. And it's pretty much just what we did on the other end of our project right here. You're just going to mock it. You're going to add 2 of your 11-oh seed beads of the same color that you had for your toggle. Take 1 8-oh and 3 11-ohs, your clasp, and 3 more 11-ohs. Take your needle down through that 1 8-oh that you added, and then add 2 more 11-ohs. Then take your needle back up through that last column of your ladder stitch. Oops. And you're just going to pull. And you have completed, at this point, you've completed your Chevron V bracelet, and you're going to tie off your string by just kind of bead weaving through your project and doing a couple of half hitch knots. And it's very easy. This is a very fun bracelet, very easy, very light on your wrist. You can, you know, be creative with your colors. You don't have to use all one color. You can do a couple different colors like I did to this one with this bracelet, or just make it a multicolor bracelet. My daughter picked out these colors. That's why they're a little pink and teal. So have fun with this bracelet. Enjoy making it. It works up really fast. It's an easy, pretty looking bracelet. So, and if you have any questions, hopefully you could stop into the Potomac Bead Company store or visit us on Facebook and watch more of our videos. And we'd love to see you one day. Thanks again for watching this video.